17 years. That's how long her family waited for justice. For a name, a face, a reason. For 17 agonizing years, the murder of Emily Carter remained a haunting mystery, a cold case file gathering dust on a shelf. In 2006, 24-year-old Emily was found in her apartment. The scene was eerily quiet. There were no signs of a break-in, no witnesses, and no obvious suspect. The only clues were a partial fingerprint on a broken picture frame and a single, almost invisible, strand of hair found on her sweater. At the time, DNA technology just wasn't powerful enough to get a full profile from such a tiny sample. So, the hair was carefully logged, sealed in an evidence bag, and stored away. Detectives worked tirelessly. They chased every lead, interviewed everyone in Emily's life, friends, an ex-boyfriend, a co-worker. But every path led to a dead end. Nothing stuck. The case went cold, but her family never gave up hope. Her mother kept her room exactly as she had left it, a perfect time capsule. She even saved Emily's voicemail on an old flip phone, just to hear her daughter's voice. Every year, on the anniversary of her death, detectives would pull out the file, hoping for a breakthrough that never came. Until last year. In 2023, a new forensic unit was formed dedicated to tackling cold cases with cutting-edge technology, advanced genetic genealogy. This new science could build entire family trees from the smallest, most degraded DNA samples, samples just like the single strand of hair from Emily's case. They retested the evidence that had been sitting in storage for nearly 2 decades. And this time, it told a story. The DNA profile didn't match anyone in the official criminal database. But it did find a partial match, a distant cousin who had uploaded their DNA to a public genealogy website. This was the break they had been waiting for. Detectives became digital genealogists, following a trail of breadcrumbs through birth records, marriage licenses, and social media, meticulously building a family tree. And at the end of that trail, they found a name. It was a man who had lived just 3 blocks away from Emily back in 2006. He had no criminal record and had never been a primary suspect. In fact, he had been briefly interviewed during the initial investigation and was quickly dismissed. Why? Because of one tiny, seemingly insignificant lie. He had told the original detectives that he had never, not once, been inside Emily's apartment. But now, 17 years later, the DNA science was irrefutable. It placed him directly at the scene. When investigators confronted him with this new evidence, his story immediately changed. He tried to explain it away, claiming he had stopped by her apartment once, years ago, to help her fix a shelf. But the detectives already knew he was lying again. Because the key wasn't just the DNA, it was another overlooked detail from the original crime scene. The broken picture frame. All those years ago, investigators assumed the frame had been knocked over and broken during a struggle. But when the new team re-examined the old crime scene photos with fresh eyes, they noticed something chilling. The tiny shards of glass from the frame were found underneath Emily's body. This meant the frame had to have been broken before she fell. And the only person's fingerprint ever found on that frame, besides Emily's, belonged to him. 17 years. One single strand of hair. One overlooked detail. And one lie that finally unraveled everything, bringing a killer to justice and a family some measure of peace. The world of cold cases is filled with stories like this. Mysteries just waiting for the right technology and the right detective to finally be solved. If you want to hear more true crime stories that refuse to stay buried, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.